What is poppin', squad? It is your boy, and today we're gonna be talking about PvP. Now, I've been having my fair share of PvP. I've came back. I've kind of got back in the mix. I've kind of seen where the meta's at. I'm obviously bringing past knowledge of all the experiences I've had with PvP, what players have wanted, what we've always talked about, and what I still see in the community even after taking like basically a year break and then coming back and like kind of getting back into the gist. So first things first, let me just put something out there, and this is coming from whatever you guys want to call it. You get a lot of people like calling me an OG because I was around since Division One beta days. I've seen every form of PvP. I've done every kind of build that I could possibly think of. So people, I guess, respect my opinion to some degree because I've always been a PvP content creator. But I think it's kind of like been the same tone for too long, even amongst the OGs or whatever you guys want to call it. And I think this needs to be said. The expectation for Division 2 PvP, blatantly and straightforward, is try to make it as close to D1 as possible. And I think that is an impossible task, not because the devs don't want to do it, not because nobody's listening, or not because it's like impossible in a sense. It's just more so Division 1 was a whole different game. It was a whole different kind of build mechanics. It was a whole different kind of meta. It was a whole different game in its sense. And I think people think the fix to PvP means making it like Div 1, and I think that's unrealistic. So I mean, we're kind of setting ourselves up to never have what we want with the game, right? Obviously, the game's been out for a long time now, and we can't really say, oh, well, PvP is going to change. They do have a overhaul coming, and we're going to see what that's going to be like. I'm excited about it because, like I said, new is new, right? If people don't like what it is right now, I know a lot of people don't have faith in the changes of PvP, but as of right now, I don't think people like it. I mean, there's some people, obviously I'm not speaking for everybody, but I think the majority of people don't like the state of PvP. And I don't even think it's because of the mechanics per se. I think it's more so because of the builds. You see a lot of shields. You see a lot of crazy one-trick builds that do everything, that kind of body you and everything. You kind of have to look at it, and you see the same builds over and over and over. I think it's more so focused on the fact that people just don't like the balancing. So let me get this out now, especially with content moving forward. Whenever I cover content, whenever I speak on something, obviously it's my opinion. But right now, blatantly, PvP sucks. It's not PvP. It's one build, do everything, as you can see right here. I was showing you guys the clips because I don't have a build. Like watch this guy like just tear through everything. It's just crazy. Like one build can really do everything for you if it's a raw, like has a shield. You're kind of golden. DPSs are allowed to have this protection corridor in front of them and just go crazy. But I don't think it's gonna stay like that. I feel obviously usually complaints eventually get fixed with the big changes. They did delay it, so I mean, delaying is bad news and good news at the same time. It's bad news because we have to wait longer. It's good news because maybe they take a little bit more time thinking and taking into consideration what people don't like. But right now, PvP is just decoy and shield and DPS builds with shields. I mean, that's just what it is. I think it's in a horrible place. I'm having more fun with PvE, and I've never said that in the history of all my division time. I've never had more fun PvEing, and maybe it's because I did take a break. I haven't done some. I haven't had a lot of build time making, so for me, it's more fun. But PvP is just not fun right now because I feel like I'm fighting the same things 24/7, and I'm tired of shooting a shield. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know how y'all dealt with it this whole time. It actually blows my mind. I'm not complaining like I'm getting bodied or nothing because I had like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 manhunt runs. I've had a lot of footage like I can actually do just for like commentary. That it is defeatable. I'm not saying, oh, well, it's impossible. I just think it's boring because everybody is running around with a car door and an AR or a FAMAS over their shield, just beaming everything. Like, it's boring. And then you just see decoys everywhere. It's just the same stuff. That's why I'm kind of having more fun making builds to go around that. That's why, if you guys seen my build video I dropped, I'm trying to see what I can do that's not meta based, because the meta is actually boring. Like, it's absolutely boring. But if you guys want my opinion, I feel like I always find myself saying this every so often. Any change is good change, right? When you don't like something, I know, well, they're just going to make it this or that. Listen, if you don't like what it is right now and they're promising some kind of change, you kind of have to just take it for what it is and just be grateful for the fact that we have any change and not stuck where it is. Because if PvP stayed exactly where it's at, whatever player base is left will eventually fall off because it's just shields and status effects, shields and status. That's literally what it is. And sometimes you actually have to eventually merge to it to get to the high end team play. So like, you have a 4-man team running that comp. You almost have to run it or do some kind of cheese to get past it because people are doing that. People running around with med kit glitches. There's just so much stuff going on right now. That even me coming back to, I'm like, damn, like I'm already overwhelmed with how annoying it is. I can only imagine the players who've been like kind of relentlessly playing and trying to adapt to the meta. I mean, I would say I've adapted because I understand how it works now. That's why I started making armor regen builds and little different status effect builds just to have fun. So I'm not getting torched by anybody. And then I found myself surviving a lot more. I just think the only thing is it's just not fun chasing somebody around with a decoy that disappears. And then you're playing hide and go seek. And then when you do catch them, they're just running away to try to heal with that med kit thing. And if you do catch them up to them and they have to pull out that med kit, they're going to just pull out the shield and just stand behind that. And you have to headshot it, which I feel even harder for console players because then it must be even more annoying. I forgot what it's like. And I haven't really had to play against shields back when I was doing that. As you can see, I'm chasing this guy around. It's a big cat and mouse game with decoys. And you kind of just have to play like hide and seek. That's just literally what the meta is. And then when you get up to them, it's pretty much shields and stuff. But for me, I think as of right now, I'm not even focused on PvP. I think my goal right now with Division is kind of just playing around, having fun, making like crazy random builds or just something that's different. I know pretty much everything's been covered, but my own personal take on certain builds and how I feel they should work. Doing that, getting my resources up so that when this thing does drop, we don't know how optimization is going to change because optimization and stuff is crazy. Like most of the people optimizing their builds are probably going to be going for PvP. Like they want the end result. PvE is, even with the unoptimized build, you're pretty much good. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have no optimized gear, and PvE is like stupid easy now that I got the Menno backpack. So I'm not worried about that. But I think the optimization tailors more towards the endgame players who want to have the absolute best stats over their opponents, which is other players, other people grinding. So I think they need to lower the materials on that because PvP is just saturated with ultra god roll optimized people who literally only spent their resources on the PvP build, and it just gives them a massive advantage with the skills that they have with the shield and a crazy FAMAS with crazy crit damage, and it's just the same stuff, right? And then when you're chasing them, drop a decoy, it's just a lot. So for me, I personally feel like I would kind of just like not even have the expectation of like, well, it needs to be this or it needs to be that. I'm just going to be happy that anything comes out of it. I'm so down to have a different form of PvP, a different meta. I haven't even spent the better part of this meta playing PvP. I was trying to catch back up. Obviously, the last time I had played before I came back to YouTube was when the Lady Death first became available. Like, that was right when Warlords came out. Like, that was metas ago. I probably missed 2 or 3 metas since then. But the one I came back to is possibly the worst. Not because you can't have fun. There is a lot of builds that work, because now I feel tank builds are good, I feel skill builds are good, and I feel DPS builds are good. It's just what they're good at is the most annoying parts of the game, right? So you have the DPSers who have stupid amounts of DPS, but then have crazy amounts of survivability because they can get away with a decoy, and they can also pop a shield out. Then you have the tank people who just absolutely just, if you farm memento stacks in a DZ, killing them is just annoying, especially unless you have a crazy burst situation. And then skill builds are obvious. I mean, people are always gonna hate skill builds because it's right now it's a status effect meta, fire, sticky, stinger, hive, stuff like that. Like it's more annoyance rather than like, damn, this is like fun gameplay. So I can see where it is kind of not I'm not gonna say balanced because it's not balanced, but I can see where every type of build has a strong suit. But I don't think that's how the PvP in this game should be. So to me, I feel like maybe we should backtrack it a little bit. They should tone some things down. They should give DPSers less survivability. They should give skill build players they have to commit more to skill power. That there is no really happy medium. I feel like it should be more of a commitment. Right now, hybrids are just too strong. Gold builds are just raining terror on everything because you're able to get a little bit of everything. I think PvP should be more about you commit to your role than you play a role to your ability. Right now, DPSers can play a tank and a DPS role at the same time, which is all you need in this game. You know what I'm saying? You don't need skills if you have the crazy survivability and instant burns, because you're going to burn a skill build player. Right now, you're just able to equip a EMP sticky and boom, you instantly just disable that entire build, whereas yours isn't stopped. Even if they take away your shield, you still have a crazy amount of DPS, which is what your build was built around anyway. So as of right now, that's just how I feel, the way I'm looking at it, the way I'm kind of getting into it. But for me, stay tuned for some other videos. I'm really curious to see what they do with PvP. But as of right now, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. PvP, and this is coming from a Division quote unquote OG PvP main person. It's just not the it right now. You feel me? But it's been real. Love y'all. Your boy is out.